Well, you can't really ask for more to start the season. Had a good kickoff, and we're in a great situation, and they turned the ball over, and when they did, we weren't ready for the sudden change. Coach Holgerson and the offensive guys, everybody was so excited. They got caught up, and we ended up getting a delay of game, but Kendall bailed us out the next couple of plays, but it was really a great start for us. I tell you, when you're playing at home and you're able to get a turnover on the first possession, makes a big difference and makes it difficult for the other team to overcome.
You know, when you're trying to implement, a fast-paced offense, one that really relies on the short passing game for the most part, like this one, I would guess it's nice to have someone like Kendall Hunter that you can hand the ball off to that allows that offense in a first game to sort of get in rhythm and not have to be too consumed about the fact that it's not perfect out of the gate.
Well, we need to be balanced. Now, there's been a lot of talk about our offense and throwing the ball, and we're going to throw the football, but I like that we're versatile enough to be able to run it effectively. And then when you have a guy like Kendall, who played very physical, I was talking about earlier, but ran the ball really physical and looked really fast. And he's worked extremely hard. Had a great winter, had a great spring, and worked hard this summer. And I kind of had a feel that he was ready to go. So we're really excited about him, and he makes a big difference in that offense.
As we mentioned, the defense recovers a fumble on the first offensive snap of the game. I think Washington State had maybe one first down in its first 4 series. Talk about the start that the defense got off to as a whole.
Well, Coach Young and the defensive staff done a nice job, and we had a few returning starters, but there's some new guys out there. And I think they've done a good job of getting to play as a group and had a good game plan. And we really didn't know what they were going to do. There was some talk in the last 2 weeks that they were running a lot of Wildcat. So that concerned us. You hear things through the grapevine, and we were concerned about that, so we had to practice some of it, which took away some reps. So we had to practice against a base spread and then a Wildcat, which is obviously a running formation. And then they obviously do some tight end formations, wings and things like that. So I thought Coach Young and those guys did a great job preparing for the unexpected.
You jumped out to a 17-0 lead, and then Washington State hits a couple of big plays offensively. Next thing you know, it's 17-10. What did it say to you, and how significant was it for your team to bounce back the way it did and really take command? And how satisfying was that, given a lot of the youth you have offensively and defensively?
Well, it's probably the best thing could have happened to us because it got a little tight there. And so we needed offensive line and Brandon and Justin and Kendall and those guys to make some plays. Defense went into a little bit of a lull, and Vic Johnson misjudged a vertical route and gave him an easy touchdown. Those are mistakes we got to correct. But our offense responded, which was good.
The response? 21 unanswered points to win the first half as the Cowboys led 38-10 at intermission. We're back with Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy as the Cowboys rolled to a 65-17 opening night victory over Washington State. You start the second half, you're up 38-10 at half, and in the second half, it seemed on both sides of the ball things went really well because you're able to take complete command of the game and eliminate any doubt less than 5 minutes into the second half.
We received the kickoff in the second half, and our offensive staff and the players knew that we needed to score on the first possession. And we were able to move the ball in the short passing game and a couple runs. And then I think we were 40, 45 yards out or so, and they tried to play press man and blitz. And they chased our receivers down the field, and then Kendall popped through on the inside zone in the running game. And it was a really nice block down the field by Justin Horton, and then it was kind of over. It's a risk you take in a press man look against us right now with Kendall and his ability. If he pops through there, he's really difficult to tackle in the open field.
Defensively, you only allowed 19 yards in the third quarter as both sides of the ball took complete command of what was going on. But if you would, talk about the play of the interior of the defensive line, because you had to press some guys into some service that perhaps you weren't planning on playing as extensively as you did.
Yeah, Nigel Nicholas and Anthony Rogers and David L. end up playing as a true freshman. And we talk all the time in practice and in meetings that you need to be prepared. You better pay attention to what's going on, and you better practice hard because it doesn't take but just a second and you can be in there playing. You're with the first group, and that's what happened to us tonight. Shane Jarka had an injury, and we probably lose him for a week or two, and same thing with Chris Donaldson. So the other guys are in there. They got to make plays, and that's college football. We expect them to play hard, to understand the game plan, and to find a way to win the football game.
Brandon Whedon's night was over by, maybe the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. How did you feel he fared in his first career start at quarterback?
I thought he played pretty well. I don't know enough about the checks and understand the offense enough to really comment. It'd be interesting to visit with Coach Holgerson and see how he felt about it. I know he made a few mistakes, but I thought that he threw the ball well. Yeah, he throws a nice ball. He's got a lot of velocity on it, and guys caught the ball fairly well. We only had a couple drops. So overall, I thought he played pretty well. There was a lot of pressure on him. More expectations for a guy that's really never made a play than anybody I've seen. There's a lot of hype built around him in this first game, and he really hadn't done much. Just played 2 quarters. So I thought he played fairly well for the first game.